So consistency isn't just about achieving goals. It's about becoming the kind of person that shows up every single day. That's what we're working on. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. Welcome back to my 100-day walk to consistency and health. As you see, we're closer to home, but I brought with me a few souvenirs. That's right. We are back in Huntsville, and we had an amazing trip. And you'll probably see some of those videos on our YouTube channel and in our social space. But glad to be back here at home, and I am on the campus of my alma mater, Oakwood University, and right behind me is the regional conference headquarters where Breath of Life is housed as well, and so many other other interesting features in that building. And just kind of walking around. So over the last 80 days, we've been talking about consistency. We've been talking about these keystone properties. And give me just a second. I think I'm going to make one adjustment. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. And so as I was saying, that we've been talking about so many different keystone principles over the past 80 days. And one of the temptations would be to think of consistency as simply another one of those keystone ideas. And while it is a paramount idea, consistency is really a lifestyle. It is a mindset that says that I'm going to show up. And the keystone principles are simply those things that we put in place that help us be consistent. And so in our thoughts, in our ideas about how we are, what kind of person we are, the person that we are, the person that we're building, the vision that we have for ourselves. Remember, consistency is key. It is a superpower, and it really sets the tone for all that we do. One of my son's favorite basketball players, LeBron, and of course Steph Curry, and you know we've been traveling around watching some of the games, and when I listen to their stories, Steph Curry, for example, one of the things he talks about is just being consistent, making shots every day, just shooting the ball, and I think he has gotten so good that there are times it seems like he's not even looking at the basket, right? He's just throwing the ball because he has the feel, he's learned, he's figured out how his body moves and where his hands are and how hard he has to push the ball when he releases it so that it goes at the angle that he is. And I've seen him sometimes falling to the ground as somebody charges him or somebody blocks him or somebody tries to get the ball. As he's going down and he twists and he turns and he throws the ball and the ball goes in. I've seen him at half court. You've seen him past half court throw that ball and the ball goes in. The question is why? Because of consistency. So now, I don't want to negate talent because there are some people that are incredible in their talents and in their abilities, the things that they do. They have been gifted, and there is something to be said about gifting. But I want you to understand that if you are consistent, if you show up every day and you bring your A game and you give your all, then consistency is paramount. It will trump talent every single time. And so today what we want to do is we're going to reflect on the power of consistency that we've learned, the things that we are doing, and the places that we're heading. So why is consistency the most powerful tool for success? Well, we've talked about things like the compound effect, right? That doing something persistently, small changes make big movement. We've talked about this idea of being able to see progress and milestones. And we've talked about how the changes that we put into place only happen as we are doing things over and over and over. For instance, you can do something once and that's it. But if you keep attempting, keep working, keep trying, then you're able to look and you're able to pivot. So most people believe that big, dramatic changes lead to success. They think they've got to have some significant impact, and this momentous thing that happens that catapults them into success. But the truth of the matter is that it's just the simple, everyday, sometimes almost mundane things that we do. When we show up and we give our A game every single time, that's where consistency, or that's where success happens. You've seen I've given the example of Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey saying that sometimes people, when they see him, they think he just showed up. Well, no. Steve Harvey has been at this for years and years and years. And if we are not careful, we're tempted to see the final product and think that, oh, we just have to find one, we have to get lucky. That lightning has to strike that one time. And if it does, then great. And if we are unlucky enough to not have lightning strike, then everything is lost. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. It is the consistent, every single day that you come with your A game, right? So transformation happens through small, consistent actions over time. And I'm talking about a lot of different people here because they're all coming to my head as I'm going through this. So Dave Ramsey talks about when he first started, and Dave Ramsey is a financial guy. I'm sure many of you know who he is. But he talks about when he first started and trying to figure out what are the principles that he was going to teach, and even trying to apply those himself. And he says something in one of his books, I forgot which book, but I think it's basically the principle. He said, if you do something well and you do it over time, you do it long enough, then it brings results. That's the idea. And so consistency, doing something over time. Now notice what I said, right? Well, because we've been talking about not just doing things, we've been talking about improving ourselves and how do we get better? How do we change who we are? How do we build a better, more consistent, more self-confident, a stronger version of ourselves that shows up every single day? And so we're always having to work. That's what limitless living says, that we're not just satisfied with what we have. We're not just satisfied because we've gotten there. We're not just satisfied because, oh, this part of our life is good, but we are always looking to say, how do we make everything else better? So if you do something well over time, consistently over time, then it will bring results. It's not about what you do once, it's about what you do every day. Now, I'm gonna have to throw my hands up here, that there have been times that I have started down the path and I've been upset because I did it 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I did it a week. I did a month. I did 2 months, 3 months, and I didn't see the results. But the idea is that every single day I'm showing up. I'm showing up when I'm sick. I'm showing up when I'm tired. I'm showing up when I'm frustrated, when I'm angry. I'm showing up when things aren't going quite well. I'm showing up because when I show up, if I show up over time, if I am consistent, then I get the results that I'm looking for. All right, so over time, not what you do every day. It isn't just about discipline, it's about an identity. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So this is one of the keys. And I started out by saying that we've been learning keystone principles. Principles have many applications. Principles have many ways of looking at them, but the principle doesn't change. Right? The principle itself does not change. And so what we're talking about is we're not talking about just being able to do something once or for a little while. We're talking about building an identity. And so this 100 Day to Consistency and Health was not just about, hey, let's do these things and let's do it for 90 days. It's about who are we? Who is the person that we want to create? Who's the person that we want to show up as? Who's the person that our brain now thinks I am? When you think about yourself, when you look in the mirror, who is the person that comes to mind? And that is what consistency is all about. It is a mindset. It is part of the identity, not just a little habit that we're trying to do for a couple of weeks or a couple of months or even for 100 days. We are saying that we are consistent. We are people. We are individuals who show up. And when we show up, we're coming with it. You're gonna have to get out the way or you're gonna get run over, because I'm not accepting just what life throws at me. I'm creating the life. Ha 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 ha. There it is. I'm creating the life I've always wanted. All right? That's what I say. I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications and go to the next level, creating the life you've always wanted. That's what limitless living says. That the things that I need to do are things that I'm taking charge of. And so it is part of the identity. And so consistency is important because it is a bedrock of what we do. Not just the keystone principle. Keystone principles are in there, but it is an identity, a mindset that I'm assuming, and that is what's going to help me to be successful, okay, as I move through the space. So what are some ways that consistency changes our lives? What are some ways consistency? I'm walking by, so we left. So you see back there, I think that's the McKee Business Building. And over to my left, let's go this way. That's the University Church, and we're moving by there. And then behind me, beyond the church, would be the campus. All right. So what are some ways that consistency change our lives? One, it's about trust. It's about trust. So when we are inconsistent, other people don't trust us. And even more than that, we don't trust ourselves. How many times have you said that you were going to do something? And we're talking about health, so let's just go ahead and just jump in there. Do something for your health. And you say, I'm going to, whatever it is, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to get sleep, I'm going to drink water, I'm going to work on my weight, whatever the thing is that you said you were going to do. And you did it for a few days, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe you even got through a year, and you did get some benefit, and then it stopped. Why did it stop? And what does that say to yourself? What does that say to you? What does your brain now say to itself? Remember, our brain, our mind, does not like to be wrong. So it will find spaces, it will find times, it will find occasions where what we tell it is true, right? And part of what we're telling it is that we don't complete things. We're not consistent. We are inconsistent. So the brain, the mind begins to distrust us. And so now, when things happen, now when we see whatever it is, now when we have some opportunity and we're trying to do something, the brain will say, yeah, you know what? We can't do that because we're never consistent. We never finish. We always give up. We start, we may get some successes, but yeah, it's not who we are because we are not consistent people. You see that? So a part of consistency, what it does is it helps us to trust ourselves more. It helps us to trust who we are. When we follow through and we commit to what we're committed to, and we say we're going to do something, when we follow through, just like other people can trust us, then we begin trusting ourselves. And so the next time we got something that we've got to do, the brain is like, hey, come on, we got this. Right? Because we know that's who we are now. It's not just about a habit that we tried. It's not just about a thing that we started doing. It's about every single day showing up and saying, man, that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. This is how we are. This is who we are. This is the thing that we're working on. Consistency. So it's about trust. So in the most consistent, in the most inconvenient times, are you consistent? Can your brain, Can your body, can your mind trust you to be consistent? Is that the person that you have created, right? The more consistent you are, the more confident you become. Because when you show up in a space, it doesn't matter what's in that space. Do you hear what I'm saying? When you show up in a space because you've been consistent, because you've had the confidence, you've built the confidence, you are assured. So it doesn't matter what's in that space. It doesn't matter if I know the thing. It doesn't matter who's there. It doesn't matter if, everybody, and I'm going to go back, I'm going to talk about myself. I'm going back to this idea of imposter syndrome. And that is a big one that I have had to struggle with, I'm telling you all, have had to struggle with. But a part of the process and a part of the joy that I get is because when I show up now, hey, I'm confident in who I am. I may not know the thing you're talking about. I may have no idea of the thing you're talking about, but that doesn't bother me, right? Because I know I have the ability to problem solve. And my problem solving ability, I'll put that up against anybody. Today, tomorrow, next week, whenever it is, because I am confident in myself. And part of it is the consistency that you bring. Part of it is the consistency that you've developed, because it is now not just a habit. It's not just a thing that I do. It is who I am. You got that? Consistency. It's about identity. It's about trust in yourself. Also, consistency creates momentum, right? That leads to mastery. Oh, come on. And we're talking, right, we can go right back to this idea of self-confidence. So when you do something over and over and over and over and over and over, guess what? You become master at that. If you eat candies and cookies, you become a master of eating candies and cookies. If you get up and you walk, and you do it over and over and over, you become a master of getting up and walking. If you speak, if you practice, if you play the piano, if you play an instrument, if you shoot a basketball, if you do it long enough, guess what? Mastery is there. And you become the master of that thing. And I can't tell you you know what? I would be such a great piano player. Yep, I would. And some of you right now, come on, be honest. If you were consistent, even if you spent 5 minutes a day just hitting some keys, you would be much better. Because you know what happens when you are doing something over and over? You get to get the feel of it. It's no longer something that's outside of you, but it's something that becomes a part of you. You begin to understand what the keys sound like together. You begin to understand how far your fingers can stretch. You begin to understand how fast you can go. You begin to understand how to put things together, how they work. You begin to understand the stuff when you are consistent. You find shortcuts. You find more efficient ways of doing it. You become the master of whatever it is. And so consistency helps you with mastery, and mastery then helps you to be self-confident, and self-confidence, come on, right? That's what, I'm getting excited. Did I say this is one of my favorites? Yeah, I know, I said it early. I love this one. Because consistency compounds over time. What once felt like a difficult task now becomes, man, I got this. Do you know why people are afraid of new things? Because they're not competent, right? And they're afraid of new things because they also don't have confidence in their ability to solve a problem. Oh, man, I can say there's so many things I just said there, and I'm in that small phrase. Problem solving ability is becoming a scarce or a rare commodity. It is something that we don't teach. We teach, you know what we teach? We teach mastery of a single thing rather than we teach problem solving. Now, I understand that we've got to have technicians, we've got to have people who are good at a particular thing. But I think we've gotten so caught up in a particular industry skill tool that we've gone away from teaching just the ability to problem solve. The ability to just walk into a room and see a problem and decide, how am I going to solve this problem? Even if it's not within my scope of understanding, my scope of expertise, what do I do? How do I approach this thing? And how do I get through the problem? Oh man, that's a whole nother conversation, right? But that's a big one, because we are not able to problem solve, then we are not, we're afraid to try things because we don't have confidence in our ability to get through it, right? So that, hey, if I can't do it, let's not even try it. So consistency over time, it compounds over time, and what once felt like a difficult thing now becomes a simple process for us to do. Think back to day one. Yeah, you remember? I'm like, man, 100 days. So what's going on with Dr. Woode? What is he thinking? As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I remember talking to some folks about doing 100-day, right? And they're like, man, everybody does like the 30-day challenge at the new beginning of the year. People do 40 days. People maybe do, 3 weeks. But you're gonna do 100 days? How about 90 days? I've had somebody say that to me. How about 90 days? And I know some of you, when you first started, like, yeah, I guess I'll do a month. Or I'll do whatever it is, right? But look at this. Over 80 days in, y'all, right? We did through snow, we did through rain, we did through crazy voice, did through eyes watering, which it still is, by the way. We did through foreign countries. What did we do through? We did through bad weather, right? We did through elliptical who's not functioning well. All of that. So we learned some stuff over time, consistency. So you felt like you couldn't get through, but here you are. Here you are, you gotten through. 81 days into this 100-day walk. And also it strengthens your resistance. Oh, whoa. It strengthens your resistance, right? Your resistance to being told that you can't. Your resistance to giving up. Your resistance to mediocrity. Your resistance to negative self-talk. Your resistance to that inner critic that you have, right? So no, we're not doing that. We don't do that. We're resisting that. You're gonna have to come better than that if you're trying to get me to quit. You gotta come with something much bigger than this. And even when you come with that, no, right? So in this space, when you're consistent, your consistency says, bring it on. Bring it on. And it also helps with resilience. Ooh, there's that word, resilience. Resilience. And I tilted up because I was walking by the CDC here, so we don't want to get those folks in our video. So resilience is the ability to bounce back. Now, so what's different between resilience and resistance? Resistance is the ability to stand against, right? It's kind of like Superman, the old Superman, not the new one. The new Superman, everybody beats him up and throws him around. But the old Superman, like I grew up with, when Superman planted his feet, well, the only thing that can get him was kryptonite. But when Superman stood, you could bring whatever you want. He wasn't moving. And so resistance is the ability to plant your feet and say, right here, this is what it's going to be. Me and you, me and it, me and the situation, we're going to duke it out right here. Because I am not moving from this spot. I am not wavering from my desire for what I want. That's resistance. But resilience says that you can come at me and things may not go the way I want, right? So my plans may not work like I thought they were going to work. I may not get the money. The book may not come out like I thought it was going to come out. The music may not show up like it was going to show up. The relationship may not be like I thought the relationship was going to be. But come on, that's all right. So boom, you knock me back, I'm coming back at you. It's kind of like that, we talked about that punching bag, right? You knock it down and it comes back up. That's resilience right there. It does not matter how many times you hit that bag. Boom, down, but I'm up. Boom, down, but I'm up. Boom, down, but I'm up. You know why? Because I'm resilient. And so it doesn't matter how many times I tried that thing. It doesn't matter how many times you told me I couldn't. It doesn't matter how many times it didn't work like I thought it was going to work. But boom, down, I'm back. That's resilience right there. And if we are consistent, y'all, consistency helps us build that resilience because it says that it trains us to push through the adversities, push through the difficult, push through the torturous, push through the places where everybody else may say, boom, you gotta, come on, you gotta give up. Now So one of the most challenging times of my life was during medical school. I think I've shared that with you all. And medical school, honestly, was kind of my third career because I had tried some other things. I shouldn't say tried, but I'd been in some other fields, right? So I started out as a theology major. Yep, that's right here on this campus. In fact, let me see, where is it? I think I'm gonna turn this way. You see that building right there? Let's see, where am I? Right, so they're right in that building. So that's where the church is, right? So one of those buildings, yeah. The religion and theology department. And then I picked up 2 additional majors, and that was in this building. Oh, where it is, right here. Is that the right? No. Oh, let me go a little bit more, right there. So this buildings. So math and computer science. So I graduated in math and computer science with a degree in religion, minor in religion, because I changed my major during my junior year, I guess. So I graduated with math and computer science. I went into a graduate program, a PhD program, spent 3 years in that program, and then left the program due to exams. So I'd done, classwork, gotten through the classwork, started doing research, and then just the qualifying exam couldn't get through. And so I left, and I was depressed for a long time. And during that time, I ran into some really, really great people. And I think I've told you about at least one of them. I think, to be honest, were it not for them, I would not have moved on. I would still probably be the same place. But community, right? So we talked about community, so very important. And got into medical school, and once again, there it was, right? Having trouble. And there were people who said to me, hey, you've been at this for a while. It's time. It's time. But I told you, Dr. Callen said to me, he said, man, look, he said, you are a doctor. We just got to get you the degree. He said, that's all we got to do. We got to get you, what do we need to do? And I'm going to tell you, resilience right there, it took a whole new meaning because there were times, I'm going to be honest, that I was going to quit. I thought about quitting. But I kept remembering the words, and I kept remembering what I was learning. And it did not all click right then. So don't think that, oh, one day I woke up and I was resilient and I made it through medical school. No. Right? This is a work in progress. Even now, there are times where I'm like, okay, right? I got to go back and remember that resilience, right? So that's why it's important to have that journal that you're keeping, because there are times when, yeah, life's going to hit you, and it's going. See, notice what I said, right? So life is going to hit you, and it's going to knock you down. Let's make a point right there. You remember that bouncing bag that we talked about? Oh yeah. So the bag, right? The punching bag is going down. It's not that somebody hit it. This is not the resistance part. We're talking about resilience now. It's not that somebody hit it and it stayed, right? Somebody hit it, it went down, but when it went down, it came back up. And so resilience says that you can knock me down, but I'm coming back. That's the power. That's the beauty of resilience. And when we can be resilient, oh, it's like water off a duck's back, right? Yeah, well, I like that point. I just wanted to get into that. Resilience isn't isn't built in ease. Resilience really is one of the places where you get tried the most, right? Because resilience says, I'm gonna get knocked down. I'm expecting to go down. I'm expecting that this is gonna happen. But resilience says, yeah, and what? What? What you got for me? What you gonna do to me? Because I'm coming back. I'm bouncing back. I'm bouncing back. I'm bouncing back. So those are the three, right? So build trust in yourself. It creates momentum that leads to mastery, and it strengthens your resistance. Number three, and then number four, I said three before. And then number four, it helps you with resilience. Yeah. You ready? All right. So how do we keep the power of consistency going beyond the journey? So we've been on a journey. We've been moving in a direction, 100 days to consistency and health. So when the 100 days is over, what then? Have you thought about it? What you gonna do? How do you keep the consistency going beyond this? What if the internet goes out and you can't see me anymore? What if for some reason you find yourself unable to walk for a while? What's then? What happens to the consistency? How do you keep it going through all of that? How do you get to the end of the journey where we said 100 days? How do you get there and still say, come on, my consistency is still with me? All right, so here, number one, you want to keep track of your consistency. Get a tracker. So every day, when you show up, mark it off. You're gonna put it on the calendar every day. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, day 10. Every single day, I'm putting it on there, right? I'm marking it down. I'm journaling. I'm doing the challenges. That's why the challenges, that's why the journal. Every time you hear me say, get your journal, because you're writing it down. And you are keeping track of that. A simple way to maintain consistency is see where I came from, see what I've done, and see how this has worked for me in the past. Come on, yeah. So number one, you want to keep a tracker. Identify one habit that you want to track, because there's so many things that we've done, right? We're talking about Keystone Principle. We did 100 Keystone Principles. Concepts, okay? So which one am I going to track? What am I going to do? Am I tracking my walking? Am I tracking each day that I show up in this space? What am I tracking? So go ahead and do that. And then you want to set milestones, right? Milestones to stay motivated. You don't need to get to the end. Remember, we're not, the journey is important. Boom, there it is. The goal, when we get where we're heading, is very important, but the journey is important. You are creating in your space of getting to your spot, to getting to what you want. You're creating a person that's different. You're creating a person that's consistent. That's the vision. That's the person that you're creating. And so, yeah, let's keep track of each of those things, but let's milestones. Let's enjoy the milestones. Come on, right? When we were in Paris, right? So I told you that it was not a guy's trip, which was good because me and my son, we'd be sitting at the hotel the whole time. But we saw some stuff, right? So my wife was like, okay, we're going here, we're going there, we can catch the cab, or Uber, we get on the tunnel, the tube, sorry, I said tunnel, yeah, get on the tube. And we saw stuff. So every time we saw things, we're like, yeah, boom, let's do that, come on. And I told you I collect pins. So we'd go to every place and like, go pin. So I come back now, and if you see my pin collection, every single place I went, I asked them if they had a pin. Now some places didn't have one, but that's okay. But now I've got a way to track that. So what are you tracking? What are you tracking? What are you tracking? What are the milestones? Right? We're on a trek to try to see all the NBA teams play at home. Right? So when we go, we get a ball cap. That's why you see I got all them ball caps. We get a pin. Right? My son gets a hoodie from wherever we go, whatever team it is, whatever city we go to. And we're keeping track of that. We celebrate, we look at them. Because we sit down now and we like, oh, you remember when we went there? We tell the story. Because it creates a story. It creates a point of emotional connection. Boom! There it is. See, that's coming back, emotional connection. When we connect emotionally, things are remembered, milestones. And then surround yourself with community. Surround yourself with consistent people. Oh, I can't tell you how much that is key. That is clutch, as one of my mentors says. He said, that's the cheat code, y'all. Right? The people around you, man, there are gonna be times where you feel like, let's do this. No, I'm not doing it, I'm not getting up. But them people, that's people that are around you, that come to you, that help you, man, those folks are gold. If you don't do anything else that I tell you, get yourself some folks who surround you, that cover you with grace, and they're able to push you, people that you trust, where you can say to them, I don't feel like it right now. That's what you need, because those people can help you when you can't even think about helping yourself. Find a mentor, find a group, find somebody that you admire. And I'm gonna tell you, some of the people that are mentoring me right now don't even know. I remember, like I said to one of the, I think I told you guys about him. I told him the other day, I said, man, I was talking on my show, on one of my episodes, and I told the folks, I said, he doesn't even realize how much he's mentoring me. And he said, dude, come on, whatever you need, right? So find people. There are people that you will never meet in person that can mentor you. Right? So, okay, we need to have a whole episode on that. All right, so you ready? What's one habit that you want to set, that you are going to stay consistent with over the next day, right? Over the next week. All right, come on, let's do this. This is one of my favorite conversations. Yes, I said it. But let's go ahead and do our challenge. All right, we can't ever end without a challenge. So here it is. Get your journal, because you're gonna be writing. Get your journal. Number one, you want to write down one habit that you've maintained over the last 80 days. What is it? We've been doing this now 81 days. What's the habit that you've had, that you've maintained? What have you stayed consistent with? Did you get up? Did you drink water? Did you exercise? Did you walk? Did you row? Did you swim? Right? What was it? Did you spend time with your wife? Did you save $1? Did you save $5? Did you find a mentor? Did you attend a group? Did you attend your STEP program? Come on, right? So we're talking about everything in your life. Limitless living says that there is no area that is out of our reach, right? So we're touching everything. Wherever we need to go, that's where we're going. And so what did you do? You want to reflect on how that has changed. How consistency changed that. How has it changed you? All right, there's the habit, there's the stuff we've done, but how has it changed you? What are you doing? What is your thought process better? Is your thought process different? Do you have a growth mindset? Do you feel less negative? What is it? What have you done? How has consistency changed you, right? Make sure, let's go ahead and do that. And then you want to set a goal for the next 30 days. 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. What happens at the end of 100 days? What you going to do? What happens to consistency? Start thinking about that right now. And we are on our way, y'all. We're on our way. 81 days in. Hey, I'm so glad that you joined me. This is another episode of my 100-day walk to consistency and health. Superpower. Consistency is your superpower. If you can be consistent, then your chances of success, they go up exponentially, y'all. Be the person that's consistent. Don't let it just be a habit. Am I a consistent person? And what does that look like? So make sure you join me for tomorrow, day number 82. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for Endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. Yeah, create the life you've always wanted. And Limitless Living says, there's nothing in me, nothing outside of me that's going to prevent me from doing what I need to do to be successful. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on the walk.